So last class we discussed about connecting an AC source across a capacitor, right? So as I told you, we'll be seeing connecting an alternating source across different kinds of devices. First, we saw for a resistor. Then for a resistor, what was the important point that we observed? That the EMF and the current are in the same phase, right? There is no lagging or leading between them. So that's what was happening. Similarly, AC source across a capacitor. Okay. So when you connected it across a capacitor, what happened? We saw that the current was leading the voltage by how much value? The current was leading the voltage by a value of 5 by 2. Right. So we didn't see the phasor diagram, right, for it. Now listen. So how will you draw the phasor diagram for it? So what does a phasor diagram consist of? It consists of x-axis and y-axis, right? So you give the input that is E. Sorry, E naught sine omega t is the input that we are giving, which is making an angle of omega t with the x-axis, right? So how should we draw the current? Should I draw the current in the second quadrant or in the fourth quadrant?
Second quadrant.
So in the second quadrant, what we are going to do is, we will be drawing the current like this, stating that this will be the value of the instantaneous current, where the angle it is making is omega t plus pi by 2. Right? This angle, if you observe, it will be omega t plus pi by 2. And when you drop a perpendicular, this side will be I naught sine of omega t plus pi by 2. And this side will be equal to E sine omega t. So this is how the phasor diagram looks for a capacitor. So make a note of it. Are you done?
Yes, sir.
So 1 second.
Now listen. Yeah, make a note.
Done, sir.
Okay. So here I'm drawing the graph for EMF versus current. So EMF and current versus time. Okay. So if this is the graph for which sine omega t will be E naught sine omega t plus pi by 2. What is the meaning of it? So omega sine of pi by 2 means, where will it become 0 for the first time?
0.
No.
Pi
Pi by 2.
What should be the value of
Pi by 2.
omega t minus pi by 2? At omega t is equal to minus pi by 2, you can see that the current will be 0 and it is going to be an increasing function. So it is going to be like this. Get you. This is I naught sine of omega t plus pi by 2.
Sir, can you repeat it, sir? How does the graph feel?
Put sine 0, no? Where will sine 0 is 0? So sine omega t should be equal to minus pi by 2. minus pi by 2 is this side. So the graph will start from here. So I've started it from here.
Yes,
Means
sir.
the same sign graph should be shifted to the left by pi by 2. That is the meaning. So one common mistake that happens is omega t plus pi by 2 means they'll shift it to the right. Okay. This is how connected are. So
Sir, your voice is breaking.
Sir, your voice is breaking, sir.
X. Okay. Listen, last class I told you about capacitive reactance. So I introduced this word, right? X is equal to 1 by omega c. Do you remember this? So 1 by omega can be written as 2 pi into f into c. Right? So the capacitive reactance is inversely proportional to frequency. Can I say this? Because 2 pi is a constant, capacitance will be constant when it is connected across its capacitor. So inversely between xc very, very important. Okay, is this clear? So xc is inversely proportional to f. Is it still breaking?
It was breaking, sir. Now
So
Sir,
Yeah. First statement to 1 omega c and as 2 pi into f. 2 pi into f into c. So xc is inversely proportional to f. Is that clear? So when you try to plot the graph between xc and f, it is going to be a graph like this. It follows inverse function. So the graph will be this, and I'm saying this graph is very important. Is that clear?
yes, sir.
Now listen. There will be a question asked like this: why does block DC? Reason for this is xc is equal to 1 by 2 pi into f into c. So what did I say? Okay, so x is equal to 1 by 2 pi into for
voice is again breaking.
Your voice is breaking.
1 minute wait. I'll try to log out and log in. You guys wait.